as we are recording as required. So with that, we'll go now to item 7C, and this is a request for approval to purchase a transfer switch for the generator to be installed at the water treatment plant. Okay.
Good afternoon, good evening.
Okay.
Transfer switches, basically.
I'm sorry, if you would, just for those in the audience, and just state your name and your title
Roosevelt
here.
Jones, Town of Mangonia Park, Utilities Director.
All right, thank you so much.
This is the transfer switch at the water plant. What happens when we run out of FNL power, basically it transfers the power from FNL to our generator. We just had an incident Sunday where the power was fluctuating with the winds blowing, and the plant is cutting on and off, cutting on and off. Our transfer switch is not working. We have to try to go in manually and override it and try to put it on the generator. So this just is a switch that transfers power from FNL to the standby generator, which we can't transfer right now.
Okay. Righty. Ken, you have anything before we go to council?
No, sir. I think we covered it in the one-on-ones, but we'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have, sir.
Thank you so much. Are there any additional questions council has as it relates to this item? Righty. And just for the record, if you can kind of give us a sort of a brief as to why if we don't do this, what happens?
What happens is when we have a storm or anything, the lights go out, the power at the plant goes out. The plant doesn't produce any water. So we won't, the pumps don't run nothing, we're just out of power.
Okay. All righty. And so we have these two quotes that are before us on the agenda. That one being the 8,200 and the 8483.
The Generator Super Center is actually changing to a brand new transfer switch, but Grid One Electrical wants to fix the one that's there. And if there's no sense, the one that's there is as old as the generator, so it's 15 to 20 years old. So if we're going to do it, and it's actually cheaper to get a brand new one. So I would, the 8,200 from Generator Super Center.
Aren't we supposed to have a 40-year warranty on this?
How we
can only hope. Okay. All right. Now, this also has a remote access as well, or? Right.
Now, we already have.
No, this is the transfer switch. I'm thinking
Yeah,
the generator.
we have SCADA on them already.
Okay.
We already have that.
That's right. Okay. Alrighty. So with that, I'm sorry. Any other questions or comments? None? Okay, with that, seeing that there are no questions or comments, we'll now go to motion. A motion, please.
Mr. Mayor, so we approve the request to purchase a transfer switch for the generator at the water treatment plant.
Okay, and which vendor?
Generator Super Centers.
Okay, so the motion is to approve the purchase of the transfer switch from the Generator Super Center Palm Beaches in the amount of $8,200. That is the motion. Is there a second to that motion?
I second it.
Has been seconded. All right, any questions on the motion? Any clarifications needed? Okay, hearing none. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Buchanan Webb.
Yes.
Councilmember Davis Quinn.
Yes.
Councilmember McConnell.
Yes.
And Mayor Older.
Yes.
It passes unanimously.
Okay. Our next item is item 7D, and this is a request for authorization to install the Hill Avenue lift station panel for sewer services. Okay.
Mr. Mayor, just a little bit of background on this. This is something that council actually approved a year ago this month, and we got the new pump in, and we have the new panel that's come in. This is the installation part for the panel. And this is something that you did approve, and it is in the budget.
Thank you so much for that information. Is there anything else from staff?
Yeah, this is basically a rehab of that station, because there'll be two pumps. We're going to upgrade the pumps and upgrade the panel. But we have all the parts. We already purchased it, so it's just sitting there waiting for it to be installed.
Okay.
That's the station where we're running off of just a plug, like you plug into a wall.
Okay. Thanks so much. If there's no additional information from staff, okay.
Mr. Mayor, and Mr. Jones can correct me, but I think the staff recommendation would be to go with the Speedy Router for the $5,750. It's the low quote, and we've also, we've had Speedy Router for several projects over the years, so we're comfortable with their work.
Okay, so noted. With that, if there's no additional comments or information from staff, we'll come now to council. Any questions or comments on the part of council? as it relates to the proposals? Hearing none, Chair will entertain a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion that we approve the request and authorization to install Hill Avenue lift station panel for sewer service with Speedy Rooter Incorporated, $5,750.
Motion has been made to approve the service to be done by Speedy Rooter in the amount of $5,750. Is there a second to that? Has been properly moved and seconded. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Buchanan Webb,
Yes.
Councilmember Davis.
Yes.
Sorry, Davis Quince.
Yes.
And Councilmember McConnell.
Yes.
Mayor Alberry.
Yes.
It passes unanimously.
Thank you so much. At this time, we're now at that part where we allow the public, if there's any comment from the public, we now open the floor to public comment. We ask if you have any comments when you come forward, just state your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Council Board and all mayor, Mr. Mayor. My name is George Ferguson. I'm senior pastor of Power Prayer Ministry. I'm a resident of this town of Mangonia. I live in Hampton Court. I talked to the staff at Hampton Court today and yesterday. They did ask me to ask about the water, because what's happening there is the toilets and some of the tubs or whatever, when the water set in there, it gets stained. So they try to say who works with that, they leave a brown stain on there. I heard him talk about the switch. I don't know if that's got something to do with that. Was that a switch? He was just telling you a transfer switch for the water. I don't know if that got something to do with it or not.
Why everyone told me we have hard water in town. We don't get it from a reservoir. All our water is pumped from underground water.
Okay.
So we're gonna have hard water. That's what we're gonna call hard water. If the water is safe, it still has the chlorine residual and everything, but it's just coming from the well, underground well. So we're gonna have hard water. We don't have a lime softening plant or anything like that.
Okay.
So, you know, it's gonna be throughout town.
Yeah, I thought so, because I'm from the country too as well. I lived in the country for a while, and I understand how that water do go, but I'm gonna explain it to them when I get there, the difference.
You look at it because of the color and you say, oh, something's wrong with it. But we test every day from the health department. The health department's every day. The water's safe, it's drinkable. It's just, we have hard water coming from the well. All our water comes from underground well.
I get it. Trust me, I get it. I know that I know how that goes. Okay. The color change. All right, that's it, all I have. Thank y'all for doing such a great job, and we're here for you.
You're
Thanks, we
welcome.
appreciate it. Well, certainly, thanks so much. Any other comment from the floor? Any other comment from the floor? Floor is still open to public comment. And I don't know that if we back online and we have someone online who has a comment?
There are none.
Okay.
We have
thanks.
one viewer, though. We had 4 before it shut
Oh.
down on Sunday.
Okay. All righty, so the floor is still open if there's any public comment. Seeing that there's no additional comment from the floor, we'll close the floor to public comment, and we'll come back now to the dais. Next item is our reports, item 9, and we'll begin with our town manager. Okay.
Mayor and council, thank you for your time this evening. I'll be very brief. Item number 1, as everyone composes themselves, my teacher, my hero, this Saturday, beginning at 5:30 at the Palm Beach County Convention Center. We've turned in the names. We know everyone's tuxes are pressed and dresses are ready to go, so we'll see everyone there. I believe that Dr. Banks is going to get us some time with the guest speaker this year, so we're looking forward to it. May 11th, which is a Thursday, from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock at the Community Center is our first senior social and bingo. We'll have some takeout food from Olive Garden, and of course, we'll have a lot of bingo going on with some small prizes given out. May 15th, just a reminder, beginning at 9 a.m. is our all-day workshop that kicks off our
Sherry's
budget
cooking.
session.
Sherry's cooking.
No, Sherry's not, but we'll have subs for you, and we will have coffee and donuts in the morning. So 9 a.m. right here. And we do have to reschedule something again. Our photo shoot is going to have to be moved to May 30th at 4:45. Last week, we had to bump it to May 23rd. We found out over the weekend that May 23rd is actually a graduation day. And so that's going to knock some people out. So May 30th at 4:45, we'll make sure you have directions. That is going to be an individual shot and a group picture. So, and Mr. Mayor, that is my report, unless you have questions for me.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions or comments for Ken? And then we'll
Just an
entertain the floor.
announcement, that was the vice mayor, and she apologizes for not being able to be here tonight.
Right, thank you so much. Before we continue, there's a member of the public who wishes to speak. We have permission to go back out to the floor?
Yes.
Okay, Courtney,
I
yes.
just want to ask a question. Is there two events open to the, anytime we have something like that, at least let us know if it's open to the public. That's my main.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's especially for the public, so absolutely.
Seniors. That is the community center event.
Community Center, 11 a.m. on the 11th. And we will have 3 in the month of May. We'll have the 11th, 25th, and 18th.
Is that for seniors, correct?
For seniors, and we define seniors as 55 and older.
55 and young.
All righty. So, correct. So Rev, we'll see you in 5 years, okay? Okay, great. All righty. Okay, anything else, Ken? Okay, thanks so much. All righty, so with that, we'll move on now to our PBSO report. Okay.
Good evening, Mayor.
Hi, good evening.
And
Good
how's
evening.
everybody?
Oh, doing
Good,
fine.
yourself?
We're doing
Captain
fine.
Thomas is away at training, so the sergeant and I are here to fill his big shoes. Report submitted as written. Couple things to keep you updated with. I spoke with Ken privately. We just sent out all the renewal contract letters that just went out. So he and I will be having lunch here in a little bit, talk about the renewal and you know, some crime stuff. I'm happy to announce you guys are leading the Crime Cup, and what that means, you have the lowest crime of all my districts at the time.
Yes.
For the first quarter of 2023, so that's a good thing. A lot due to that fella right there in the back and his leadership
good,
and what
good.
he's
Thank
doing
you.
with the deputies.
Thanks.
So that's going well. We have a little concern. Ken is aware of it. There's pending legislation up in Tallahassee, where the governor looks like he's going to try to do a good thing for law enforcement, but that's putting a lot of extra expense on local government as far as pensions and retirement go. We're waiting to see where that's going. So in addition to the renewal, there could be, you know, an increase pending on that legislation. You know, Tallahassee's famous for giving legislation but no funding. So, but as always, I'll work with Ken and the mayor, and we'll try to keep your rate increase as low as we can, but we're still waiting to see what the Senate and the House does on that pending legislation. So, I know former Commissioner Earl asked about the body-worn cameras last time I was here. We are 50% done at the sheriff's, patrol. 50% of patrol is done, which is the most important part. My region, or our region, the North Region, Regional Bureau of Palm Beach County, we're up right now. I have 800 members in my region, and it's going to take us about a month and a half to get through all 800. But we've got 50% of patrol right now has body cameras. I know you guys are well aware of the tornadoes that hit over the weekend up in Palm Beach Gardens. Just the raw footage that came off of those body cameras and in-car cameras was pretty impressive to watch. You know, a lot of that stuff made it to the media. So that's all I have. Be happy to answer any questions at the moment.
Okay. Thank you so much, Major. Let's see if there's any questions or comments for the Major.
Covered everything.
Right. Now,
That's due to that gentleman right there.
yeah,
Can't
we
take
certainly
credit for that.
appreciate it. Right. Now, North, of the last meeting, we did ask, and if we need to talk offline, we'll be glad to do that as it relates to the drones going back up in the air.
So yes, I can talk about drones. We did not get the legislation passed that we liked or wanted, which was basically we asked the governor for a three-year extension on our current technology. And we could talk for hours about the nuances of China. We did not get that, so essentially that deadlined our fleet, not just ours, all drones, because all of us use the same technology for the most part. However, we, and I say we, the law enforcement community, in addition to PBSO, are moving in directions with companies that are compliant with the new regulations. So we are up and running, not our full fleet, but we have our ones that we were able to get quickly that met the federal regulations are up and running. So we'll keep you posted on that. It was a very expensive legislation that we didn't get. Essentially, it deadlined all the drone fleets just because of that technology. So.
Now, I bought one for my grandson, if you want to use that one, just for Magnolia Park. So,
he hasn't crashed it yet?
No, not yet. Okay, thanks. We really appreciate it.
I have a
Hopefully,
question.
they'll be back in the air shortly.
Yeah. It's just everybody has
Show
to
it, these
outfit
dirt bikes.
their drone fleets with the new companies, basically, which are quite more expensive.
Yes, everything costs a bit more. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Mr.
Yeah,
Major?
I know you guys are limited as to what you could do where the dirt bikes are concerned. I don't know if you've seen them on Sunday. They're on 45th Street, Galore.
I'll allow Sergeant to speak to that. He's over here. Oh, we're aware of them.
Yeah,
Not just in
they're-
Magnolia Park. It's an issue
But I
for
think they had
Airbnb.
kind of calmed down for a while and
We
like.
did. We run our traffic operations. Right now, the hottest thing for the last 2 years has been the car clubs. Because you're right, about a year and a half ago, the motorcycle clubs, for lack of a better word, were causing chaos. They did die down a little bit, but I see that they're back up not only here, Riviera, West Palm, Lake Park, all the cities that seem to be right here in this central. And it does seem Saturdays and Sundays are bigger. If you have any intel for us, like you see them on a certain day and time, please let us know. We'll get all of our traffic cars out here to find them. But if they're coming back up, I'm not aware of that, that we're seeing a resurgence of that. But if you're seeing them, please let us know. We'll address that immediately.
Okay,
So.
Okay.
thank you.
Absolutely. Any other questions or comments? Okay. And thanks so much. We appreciate all that you guys are doing. Thanks so much. Certainly appreciate it. Okay. Mehdi, I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll go to you since.
I didn't have anything, thank you, sir.
Alrighty. Okay. Alrighty. David is here. You have anything? Okay. All right. Thanks so much. So with that, we'll now go to council comments. Are there any comments? We'll go with Councilwoman Webb.
I have nothing.
Okay. Alrighty. Councilwoman Quince Davis. Okay. Councilman McConnell.
No, nothing.
Okay, thanks so much. And nothing here other than to thank everybody for all that they're doing, our residents for supporting us and keeping us in line, and for all of our consultants and staff, thank you so much. And to our law enforcement, thank you so much for keeping us safe. With that, if there's nothing else for the good of the order.
I saw a movie adjourn.
Okay, motion has been made for adjournment. Is there a second?
Second.
Has been properly moved in second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. It is carried. Thanks so much. Have a great evening, and we look forward to working with you.
Please come back and let this happen.
I gotta go. These guys in the back, have anything to say? They're like they kind of lost. Not him, the other one. She in the back.